Here's how we can build real-time AI sales agents that can do all sorts of things like recommend products for customers on our website, increasing conversion rates, and it can understand everything about our website, and it can do all of this responding in less than 2 seconds. So basically real time. So let me give you a bit of a demonstration of how this works. I've already built one for you, so I'll show you a demonstration, and then I'll show you how you can build it yourself. And you can do all of this, by the way, for free. You can set up a free trial, so you can see just how quick the first response is. So I said, what is Kushboo? And this is just, I've trained this on a random brand that I found on the internet. So it's actually then given me a response about what exactly the brand is, but it's also gone ahead and it's actually recommended me a specific product line. So it's trying to start the conversation about me purchasing a product. So it's not hanging around just asking questions. I've made it actually try and sell me on something. So you can see here, for example, we have a range of soaps with natural botanical exfoliators. So here we're going to say the exfoliators sound cool. What are they? It's going to go ahead and read the entire website, and it's going to then respond with a detailed description of exactly what those are. So you can see here the charcoal face mask deep cleanser designed to gently exfoliate the skin and get rid of dead skin cells. I've asked it a slightly more complicated question. I'm buying for my girlfriend. What blah, 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 blah. She wants to do all of this stuff. Can you help me? And it's gone ahead and it's actually recommended me a product and hyperlinked me to that specific product. So it's actually said that we want to buy the New Year, New You skincare bundle. We're going to open up that page. This is the specific product. You can see £30. It's added a UTM tracking link to that product. And you can see here, it's taken all the information about this product and it's then included that in its response. That's really cool. Now it's also gone ahead and it said, would you like more information on any specific product within the bundle? So let's try and push it a little bit harder. So we're going to say that the girlfriend that we're buying for has got sensitive skin. So is there any ingredients in here that's going to cause any allergies? So we'll see how it does with this. And I just want you to note how quickly it's responding. I'll explain how this is working in a minute. So based on the information provided, it has 100% plant ingredients, so contains no chemicals, color, or synthetic perfumes. Awesome. Okay, so let's say we decided that we want to go ahead and purchase this product. Now I want to show you something really cool. So if I say, awesome, how can I purchase this? And is there a discount code? I've got it to respond with, hello, you can purchase the New Year, New You skincare bundle here. Add to cart. Currently we're offering 15% discount on your order. Use the code NEWYEAR15 at checkout. If I click on add to cart, it's going to open up a specific URL with that product already added into the cart. I've set the quantity to 4, so it's added 4 of those items to cart, and I've just done this just to show you guys, but you can do it as 1. In fact, if I remove this from the cart, I think maybe I actually have set it to 1. If we click on add to cart, cool, yeah, so it is actually only set to 1. It's going to add one of those to cart, and then that customer can go ahead and check out instantly. Awesome. So how can we actually set this up for ourselves? Well, first of all, you want to go ahead and start a free trial with ChatIQ. This is the software that we're using. The link is down below, top link down below in the description. It's going to be a free trial. Go ahead and create an account. You can sign up with Google, create your account, give it a second to load, put in your card details. It's not going to charge you anything up front. Don't worry about that. It's just to check you're a real human. And then it's going to take you to the dashboard. When you're in the dashboard, you are able to basically train your chatbot on a whole load of data. So how is it getting information about the products on your website? Well, very simply, it's going to every single page on your website, and it's extracting all of the visible text from each one of those pages. So if you click on upload data, you can put in your URL, go ahead and then fetch links. So if we just do chatiq.ai, go ahead and fetch all the links from your website, and then you can tag your data. And if you've already built chatbot, you can add it to your chatbot. If you haven't, it'll just build one for you. And then it's going to build a list of all that data. Give it some time to process. I usually recommend 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how many words you're getting processed. Once all of it's been processed, you can upload additional data like text data or PDF files. So what I did is it didn't scrape every page from my website because I'm on the starter plan. So I added in some PDF files and text files of these other pages. So I've got the shipping policy, FAQs, and refund policies. And then what we can do is we can pick and choose the data that we're going to use, and we can then create a chatbot from that data. So giving it a name and an introduction message. So the introduction message is, let me just refresh this. So this is the introduction message. You can go ahead and add that. And then once you've added your chatbot, you can then select the files. So here are all the files in our database. We can add and pick and choose all the data that we want to use and build our chatbot. Obviously, we've got to add in the other bits and pieces. So once your chatbot's been built, you can customize everything, but I want to show you how I set it up as a sales agent, because you want to go ahead and head directly to instructions and you want to give it some custom information. So for example, I've given it some business contact details and important links. So it's got the shipping policy page and the refund policy page. I've then said for this chatbot, it's got a specific job, and I've given it an example of how to start a conversation. So you can see here, I've said your number one job is to increase conversion rates on our website by understanding why a customer would be asking a specific question and how answering it can help them with their purchase. Your number one goal is to think of or continue asking questions that will lead to them to purchase. And then I've said, for example, this person asks whatever, the name of the brand. The assistant answers this question and asks them if there's any specific anything specific they're looking for, e.g. we have stuff that helps with dry skin, etc. So I've given it a bit of a prompt to show it that it can actually recommend some of the products, and this is a very good way to make sure that your sales chatbot is starting in the correct way. Now, the next thing to note with ChatIQ is it builds its own custom memory. So what happens is when we ask it a question, it's going to use all of that data that it has access to. But once it's generated a response, it caches that in its own memory. So now, every single time somebody asks that question again, it will use the cached response, the response in its memory. So you know that it's going to be reliable every single time and it's not going to hallucinate. But you can also do some other really cool things like making sure that product recommendations work and also just adding information to the chatbot's responses to enhance it. So you can see here I've said recommend me a product for dry skin, and it's generated a response recommending this specific product and it's hyperlinked it. And sometimes it won't hyperlink it, but I'll show you how to add a hyperlink. Then you can see here it's done all of this response, blah, 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 blah. So let's just run through a workflow. What was the first question I said? What was it? Somewhere down here. What is Kashubi? Cool. So you'll see here it's going to respond in a couple of seconds, and this response has already been cached in its memory. That's why it's so quick. If I were to ask it a question that hadn't been responded to, wasn't in its response cache memory, then it's going to be pretty slow to respond. But I want to show you, more importantly, how we can actually make sure that the product is actually giving us the add to cart link, because that's probably something you're quite interested in. When we get a response back from the chatbot, it's not actually pulling in information about the discount codes directly from the website. If you want, let me know in the comments and I can try and add that as a feature. Alternatively, you come to the chatbot on our website here. If you need a custom feature, ask the chatbot and it'll tell you how to get that. But I can add that in at some point. But for now, if you have discount codes and you want to make sure that the chatbot's going to provide them to people, but also recommend they can add to cart, all you need to do is click on the adjust response. So whatever the response is, let me just do a live example for you. So we're going to remove this from the memory, and then we're going to push this back. We're going to do a new question. So we're going to come to the chatbot. We're going to ask it this question. And you can see here it's going to take 5, 10, 15 seconds to generate a response. It's not going to, this is probably going to be a bit weird because it's got no chat history. To make a purchase, you can offer a 15% discount when you sign up and claim discount, blah, 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 blah. Cool. So I don't know if this is correct or not. I don't own the brand we've scraped here. But what we can do is adjust the response. So we've got two ways we can do this. One, directly edit the AI response, or two, we can actually add more data. So for example, if we wanted to, we could just add in, like here, we could just put discount codes, and we could put in a whole load of discount codes. For example, so I've just written this in, right? 15% off all orders, $50, over $50, New Year 15, 10% off all orders is 25, over 25 is welcome 10. We're going to upload this text, and then you'll notice something really cool. It's done that. It will actually remove this from the cache, but if we come to the data, it should have added it directly to the chatbot already. So now the chatbot has access to this data. So if we then refresh the page again, I'll be interested to see what it does, because that hasn't got a lot of data. That's not a lot of text. Okay, so it hasn't actually. Let's remove the cache. And then let's ask it for a specific discount code. Do you have any discount codes? Theoretically, it'll go through and it'll find that specific information that we've just added to the chatbot that has those discount codes. I think the data has been added already. Okay, cool. So you can see here for all orders over $50, you can use the code NEWYEAR15 to get 15% off. If you're a first-time buyer with an order value over $25, you can use the code WELCOME10 to receive 10% off. Awesome. So that data is now added to the chatbot. Let's go back to this one here when we asked it this question. I don't know if it's actually got this data still. Okay, we want to remove this from cache. Okay, so pretend, for example, that the chat history is still there and it has actually recommended us how to purchase that product. How do we actually get the discount link? Well, let me find how I did it. Okay, so this is like a previous response that we got through. Let's just take this and we're going to set it up. So we're just basically manually formatting this for now. Let's just do this so it's easy to read. So imagine, for example, here, so we're going to do the New Year, New You skincare, and we're going to take this link, we're going to paste in the link for that product. We're going to add in this URL, and again, if you guys want this, I can add this, I can make it easier, so there'll be like a little drop down selection where you can add in a specific thing. But we can see here, we've got this, we've got the cart button, add ID, we just put in the ID of that order, sorry, of that product. So this is the variant ID, quantity equals to 1, and then all we do is update the cache. So now when somebody asks about that specific product, we can change the URL, so we can make sure that URL is an add to cart URL. So now when somebody clicks this, it'll add it to my cart. I've already got one in there, so it's added 2 to cart. But if we clear the cart, let's just close some of these pages as well, and we click this button, it's going to do that. So it automatically adds it to cart. So now the chatbot is basically getting very intelligent. It's able to recommend product links. It's able to add things to cart and do all sorts of things. So that is basically how you build your own real-time sales agent for your website. You can see you can get very advanced with what you do. And also because you can actually adjust responses, you can become very powerful in how it responds. ChatIQ will also gather support tickets. So just so you know really quickly, here if we put in a support ticket, this is the one I've got set up on my website. I need to change these colors so they're easier to see, but you can see here these are the different categories that I've set up. Anyway, that's for another video. But if you have any additional questions, go ahead and leave them down below in the comments. You can ask our chatbot on our website. But if you want to get started with your own chatbot, go ahead and click the top link down below in the description. It'll take you to ChatIQ. Click on Start Your Free Trial. Create your account, put in your card details, and start your free trial. It's not going to charge you anything. You can cancel at any time within the app. All you need to do is come to Settings, Plans, Account, click on Manage Plan, and you can always cancel your subscription before it charges you. Awesome. I will see you guys in my next video.